you showed up, everything was great. I'm not gonna lie. This apocalypse has been too much fun. Chaos. Pain. Mayhem. This is the only world we've ever known. See, when you make everyone else fear you, you get to be queens. Queens with a dope-ass kingdom.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Ben, I'm that bearded guy, and this week I managed to get my hands on the newly released Far Cry New Dawn. Now some might say that I've been overly critical of some of the games recently, and that's because in my own opinion, all the best games were released for PC and console just before Christmas, so we're now in something of a lull. But I'm so pleased to report that actually that lull is now well and truly over with the release of Far Cry New Dawn, because it's absolute perfection. It's been quite some time since I had to literally pull myself away from the console just to make a review video, so let's take a look. So if you're new to the Far Cry franchise, then you'll find this game as something between Red Dead Online meets The Saviours from The Walking Dead. Now although this is a standalone sequel to Far Cry 5, as a newcomer you won't feel at all disadvantaged and you get straight into the story with no prior knowledge. You play as the captain and you're confronted by the twins who lead a merciless gang called the Highwaymen as they roam around the post-apocalyptic lands of Hope County, oppressing the local communities. After escaping from the twins, you join a fortified community in a stronghold called Prosperity, and from there you build weapons, vehicles and infrastructure in order to go on the offensive. Throughout the game you discover various non-playable characters who can be recruited as guns for hire and accompany you throughout the missions. You must scavenge and loot items in order to create weapons and other amenities, and these can be found peppered around the landscape, or they can come in supply drop, or you can even capture them from enemy. Now you have your main missions which shape the story, but you also have a plethora of side missions and other missions you can just discover as you simply navigate around the map. It's quite easy to get sidetracked away from your main mission because there is literally so much to do. Roaming gangs of highwaymen pepper the terrain as they move supplies, prisoners and ethanol, which is the currency of the game. So you've got a choice whether you stay on task and carry on with the mission, or you just detract away from it and go and do some other activities. But they're not the only hazard of the game, because you can interact with the local wildlife. You have to be careful not to stand on a snake and watch out for the occasional crocodile. In addition to the standard missions, you can also go on excursions where you go outside of Hope County and undertake more complex missions, a lot harder, but the reward is a lot better. The more you play, the more you unlock in terms of weapons, vehicles, explosives, ammunition, etc. And there's a wide variety of vehicles for you to select, be it land, sea or air. The enemy range and rank according to difficulty, so some need more complex weapons later on in the game in order to defeat them. You can choose whether you want to approach covertly using a melee attack to avoid detection, or just go in all guns blazing and go loud straight away. There's an astonishing range of weapons available as you progress further through the game, far too many to mention in this short video. But the playable content is limitless. So from the moment I started playing this game, I was immediately hooked. There is literally so much to do in this game that it's impossible to get bored, and there's always something along the way to keep you interested. So overall then, this is by far my favourite game of this year, and I literally can't wait to get playing it again. So you'll have to excuse me, but I've got to go.
Like I said, man, too much fun. Wow. The end of the world was the best thing that ever happened to us.